Well, some shocking new court documents filed Friday alleging that disgraced rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs is breaking more rules from behind bars. He's now accused of attempting to influence potential.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
So, fresh court documents filed Friday are spilling some piping hot tea about disgraced rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs breaking even more rules from behind bars. And honey, that's not even the juiciest part. They're saying he's trying to influence potential witnesses. But hold on to your seats because someone dropped this truth bomb. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. And speaking of names, grab your popcorn because word on the street is that Ashton Kutcher and Steve Harvey might be packing their Louis Vuitton bags and saying sayonara to the USA. Why? They've reportedly been subpoenaed to testify against none other than Diddy himself in his upcoming trial.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis split rumors have been circulating online after his friendship with Diddy has been put under a magnifying glass following the rapper's arrest.
Ashton Kutcher were before Ashton and his Diddy partying. You got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi more. He replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with their daughters.
I mean, seriously, what kind of dirt does Diddy have that's got these A-listers looking up international flight schedules? Let me tell you all about this scandalous mess.
Steve Harvey also has a very inappropriate relationship with the diddler. And the truth is, a lot of these older men push their daughters to hook up with their celebrity friends so that they can keep the favor machine going. How do you share with your daughter, you know?
You're not going to believe this, but both Ashton Kutcher and Steve Harvey have been named as defendants in civil and criminal lawsuits against Diddy. The allegations are absolutely shocking. They're saying these celebs were allegedly regulars at Diddy's notorious freak-off parties and, brace yourselves, were involved in some seriously inappropriate behavior with minors. And honey, it gets worse. There's supposedly camera footage of both Steve and Ashton in some very compromising situations. But wait, there's more. Remember Steve Harvey's daughter? Well, apparently she was involved with Diddy when she was 22 and he was 50. Talk about daddy issues.
Because they actually look pretty happy.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy. Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
Shocking! For some.
Now let me spill some historical tea about Diddy and Steve Harvey's relationship. It apparently goes all the way back to the 90s, darling. Word is, Diddy played fairy godfather to Steve's career, helping him reach those glittering heights we all know today. But honey, nothing in Hollywood comes without a price tag, and the cost? His own daughter? Can you believe it? Despite Steve's whole protective daddy act and being all strict about Lori's dating life, he was right there, smiling and nodding while Diddy was whining and dining his baby girl.
I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's there.
Survey says the #1 most interesting thing about this photo is
Diddy and his son are Eskimo brothers.
Let me tell you something truly disturbing about all this Hollywood drama. These kinds of stories, they're sadly not that shocking in Tinseltown anymore. For those who've been living under a rock, let me catch you up on the whole Diddy-Lori saga that had everyone's jaws on the floor back in 2019. This juicy little romance came right after Diddy's split from Cassie Ventura in late 2018, but here's where it gets extra spicy. Lori, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, had previously been linked to Justin Combs. Yes, honey, Diddy's son. According to TMZ, and they never lie, right? Lori and Justin were an item before she started playing house with Daddy Dearest. In July 2019, paparazzi caught Diddy and Lori strutting around New York City in matching outfits. Subtle, right? Even though Diddy tried to deny the romance earlier that year, the truth came out faster than a Hollywood marriage falls apart. But like most Hollywood flings, this one fizzled out by October 2019. Sources said it was just a fun fling. But was it really? At the time, everyone was saying Diddy needed time to heal after losing Kim Porter, the mother of 3 of his children, who passed away in November 2018. And speaking of Kim, she's allegedly one of the people Diddy is accused of silencing when they tried to expose his disturbing behavior. Diddy didn't stay single for long, though. He was soon spotted dining with Nicole, while Lori moved on too. But now that all these lawsuits and shocking allegations are coming out, we have to ask ourselves, was Lori another victim? Did she witness any of those disturbing activities at his infamous freak-off parties? Let me tell you something even more fascinating. eagle-eyed fans noticed something very peculiar in photos of Lori with Diddy. Her nail polish, specifically when she suddenly started wearing white. Now, normally I wouldn't care about someone's manicure choices, but according to Cassie's explosive lawsuit against Diddy, white nail polish wasn't just a fashion statement in Diddy's world, it was allegedly a signal of being an S-worker in his activities. And honey, it gets even messier. Comedian Cat Williams spilled some scalding hot tea suggesting that Steve Harvey might have actually used Lori as a way to get closer to Diddy, potentially even involving her in some of these shocking situations.
There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Cat Williams in there.
Now, before you think this is all just wild speculation, let me remind you about Steve Harvey's own track record of controversies. While he loves to play the family man on TV behind the scenes, that's a whole different story. When his talk show moved to LA, his staff got hit with some seriously diva-like demands. A leaked memo showed Harvey telling his employees not to even dare approach him unless specifically asked. Can you imagine? Harvey tried to defend the memo, claiming he just wanted me time, but it only added fuel to his ongoing feud with Cat Williams. And oh, the tea between those two is scalding. In 2015, Harvey got slapped with a lawsuit for allegedly bailing on a private jet lease after spending over $400,000 on renovations. Williams also accused Harvey of being a creative thief, claiming he stole the whole concept of the Steve Harvey Show from comedian Mark Curry's show, Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And in true Cat Williams fashion, he didn't hold back, joking that Hollywood wasn't exactly looking for a man who talks funny and looks like Mr. Potato Head.
Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write.
Let me tell you something, Steve Harvey isn't exactly coming out of this smelling like roses, especially when it comes to his connections with Diddy. Is this why he's suddenly planning a vacation abroad? Many people are saying he's trying to dodge questions about Diddy's infamous activities. And get this, he's not the only one booking a one-way ticket. Ashton Kutcher has reportedly joined the Flee the Scene Club. His silence speaks volumes, doesn't it? While he might have plenty of stories to share about those notorious parties, it seems like he's choosing to grab his passport instead of spilling the tea. And rumor has it, Ashton wasn't just an innocent bystander. They say he was living it up at these wild events.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Now let me fill you in on a connection that might surprise you. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy go way back. Ashton himself called their friendship bizarre. But honey, it worked. They were absolutely everywhere together. Watching football, going on runs, you name it. It all started with Punk'd, Ashton's hit show on MTV. From there, their bromance blossomed, with Diddy diving into TV production himself. They were fixtures at all the high-profile events, especially Diddy's infamous 2010 Labor Day White Party. And let me tell you, those nights were wild. Here's a little nugget of gossip for you. When Time magazine named Ashton one of the 100 most influential people in the world, Diddy was practically gushing. He called Ashton his sounding board and said, like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we're like yin and yang. I'm in your face and he's all cool and suave.
He became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together. And he came over and I was like, I'm going for a run. He's like, oh, I'll go for a run with you.
But darling, despite their once close friendship, Ashton is now avoiding Diddy like last season's fashion. It's almost as if he's trying to pretend he wasn't proud to be besties with Diddy back in the day. And speaking of questionable connections, Ashton's judgment has been under fire lately. Last year, he and his wife Mila faced major backlash for supporting their That 70s Show co-star Danny Masterson during his serious legal troubles. For those who don't know, Masterson was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and must register as an S offender after being convicted on 2 counts of SA.
Ashton Kutcher, you're up. Let me tell you the part that really chaps my ass about this. Bro, poor choice of words when Diddy's around. So look, here's the thing is I almost liked you. I almost liked you, homie. You was up there in front of Congress speaking against human trafficking. You almost had me. But why is it that everyone that you're close friends with turns out to be a stone cold predator? Not just one, and it's not just an isolated incident. This is a pattern with you for decades.
Oh honey, the backlash against Ashton and Mila's support of Masterson was fierce. Actress Christina Ricci didn't hold back one bit when she called them out. She dropped this powerful message on social media that had everyone talking. Unfortunately, I've known lots of great guys who were kind to me but later turned out to be toxic behind closed doors. Believe victims, it's not easy to come forward and it's even harder to get a conviction. Now, she didn't name names directly, but we all knew exactly who she was talking about. Let me spill the tea about what really happened. Ashton and Mila both wrote letters to the court supporting Masterson before his sentencing, practically begging the judge to go easy on him. They painted him as this amazing role model who changed their lives. Can you believe it? Ashton even credited Demi for keeping him away from illegal substances, calling him a mentor. And Mila? She described him as this protective big brother figure who kept her grounded and away from the party scene. But darling, their little show of support turned into a PR nightmare faster than you can say damage control. Once the backlash started rolling in, they scrambled to do damage control with this joint video apology. They claimed the letters were written because Danny's family asked them to provide character references since they'd known him for over 25 years. They insisted they weren't trying to hurt the victims or minimize what happened, but honey, the damage was already done.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years, so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
My name is Allison Carter. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there.
People build these tunnels. There's a lot of elite celebrities. They go down there for parties underneath the Getty.
Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres. Do you want me to keep going?
And let me tell you something, she's not just going after Diddy. She's taking aim at an entire network of powerful men in the industry who, according to her, have been using their influence in the most horrifying ways imaginable.
Yeah, I was at a Diddy party. I was one of the party favors. But I told you, nobody tells on Diddy. Maria Z, I did that interview in 2021, 7 months ago. We made sure, I already knew that Diddy and Oprah is about to get arrested.
What Ali reveals about these VIP sections at Diddy's parties will absolutely chill you to the bone. We're not talking about your regular velvet rope areas with fancy champagne service. According to Ali, these were specially curated spaces where high-profile guests like Steve, Ashton, Jay-Z, and Naomi Campbell had access to young girls in ways that should make your blood run cold. The most disturbing part? Ali isn't the only one telling these stories. The way she describes how they built up young people's self-worth, making them feel specially chosen for greatness. It's the same horrible pattern we've heard from other survivors in the industry. These poor souls were lured in with promises of fame and recognition, only to find something much darker waiting for them behind those closed doors. And darling, it gets even worse. Carter claims this isn't just about exploitation, it's about silencing anyone who dares to speak up. According to her, Diddy's reach in entertainment was so vast that he could blacklist people from jobs and used his connections to intimidate anyone who challenged him. It's all about maintaining power through fear. Let's talk about the eerie pattern of deaths around Diddy. It'll give you chills. Take Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-wife who died mysteriously in 2018. The official story? Pneumonia. But here's the tea. She was allegedly about to release a tell-all book about her life with Diddy. Then there's Andre Harrell, found dead in 2020 under similar circumstances. He too was supposedly preparing to spill some major secrets about Diddy. And Al B. Sure, he barely survived a mysterious health scare when he was rumored to be writing his own exposé. But wait, it gets even darker. Carter claims some of these high-profile figures are involved in actual satanic rituals, with participants allegedly forced into disturbing intimate activities involving body parts.
Yes, there were shrines used for rituals. There's bloody places. There's parts where there's limbs. People cut off limbs and want you to have sex in it. There's blood. There's blood that I don't even know who it belongs to.
Just when you think it couldn't get any more shocking, Ali takes us down an even darker rabbit hole. She's exposing what might be Hollywood's biggest secret, a network of tunnels beneath Los Angeles, connecting some of the city's most exclusive estates.
I've been there, I've done that. So I'm telling you right now, there are entrances and exits and manholes in the ocean. Why do you think certain people have private submarines? Why do you think they need a submarine? Why do you think I say there's every source of transportation under the ground?
So who are we? I'm trying to grasp, who are we protecting besides children? Well, nobody's talking about the children.
According to Allie, this isn't just some urban legend. It's an open secret among the rich and powerful. These tunnels supposedly create this shadowy underground world where they can gather in total privacy, completely off the grid. And honey, Allie isn't the only one talking about these secret passages. Jaguar Wright, a soul singer turned whistleblower, has joined the chorus of voices exposing Hollywood's disturbing underworld. Wright's claims about these tunnels will make your jaw drop.
Information and what you can hide. Not what you can prove, but what you can hide. Why ain't nobody talking about the fact that those Diddy tunnels go to Hugh Hefner's house? Allegedly.
Kutcher, who's built this whole image around being a tech mogul and champion for victims of exploitation, is facing major heat for his silence. I mean, his own foundation, Thorn, is supposed to protect children from mistreatment, yet he apparently turned a blind eye to Hollywood's underworld. And Steve Harvey, the self-proclaimed family man and man of faith, his apparent willingness to stay quiet about these disturbing truths makes you question everything about his public persona. But what do you think? Were Ashton Kutcher and Steve Harvey really involved in these dark dealings? Is that the real reason they're trying to leave the country? Drop your thoughts in the comments below while we wait for more updates on this absolutely wild story. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos for more juicy insights. Stay tuned and we'll be right back with more tea to spill.